Okay, so this morning we're going to be doing bread baps, we're going to be doing burgers, and we're going to be saute potatoes. Saute potatoes, you can either parboil it or steam it, and then slice it and you fry it in a little bit of oil and a little bit of butter. Shallow fry until it kind of nice and golden brown. And then we're going to do some sauteed onions for the burgers or the potatoes. But first of all, we're going to do some bread. Right now, we're making the bread bap. Yeah, this is a basic bread dough recipe. 200 grams of strong flour, and the reason why it's called strong flour because strong flour contains more gluten than soft flour. Soft flour is plain self-raising. Self-raising plain, they're both called soft flour. This is strong flour. So if you're gonna if you try to make bread with plain flour or self-raising flour, you're not going to get the same results. Yeah, because I do believe that the yeast it feeds on the gluten and it helps it to rise. Yeah, it needs food, it needs time, it needs moisture. These are the three elements that helps the yeast to grow. Right now, yeast, right, is a funny old ingredient. Right, if the water's too cold, it doesn't work, and if the water is too hot, you kill it. And also, sugar and salt can be an enemy of the yeast. So what you've got to do to ensure that your bread will rise is you will, you know what I've forgotten? The butter. Could I get 10 grams of butter? Wait out for me. 10 grams of butter. And chuck it in the same, chuck it in there. Just, if I zero that. If I zero, yeah. Let's have a look. What's this? Cut it in half. Cut it in half and chuck it in there. Right. When you're making bread, always put some type of fat in there. That way it will retain the softness. If you don't put no fat in there, it'll be soft, but then it will go brittle the next day to dry. All right. Yeah, just chuck it in there. If it's a bit over, it doesn't matter. Yeah. Cool. Right. So the yeast, the ideal temperature for yeast is blood temperature, which is 37 degrees, yeah? So what I've got to do is I run the water till it's nice and warm, yeah? With the salt and the sugar, I'm not going to put it in the first lot, yeah? So what I'm going to do, I'm going to add my fat and my yeast. Can I get another jug? I've got one. Yeah, I got it. Right. So what I'm going to do is I've got to measure out about 120 millilitres of water, approximately. So I zero that, and I'm going to start pouring 120 millilitres of water. Don't estimate it, right? When you work with pastry, you need to have the right quantity because it works with ratios. Pastry works with ratios. So if you get it wrong, the pastry will, or the dough will come out wrong. Yeah? And the reason why I'm using this bowl is because I want to show you exactly how I knead the dough. So I could knead it in the bowl like that, but all you'll see is the bowl. But if I put it on the table, right, I'm not expecting you guys to put it on the table unless you're feeling confident. My flour goes on the table. When you're kneading dough, you don't need to do this, right? You just use one hand and I pour the water and the solution, the yeast solution, the butter, everything. Yeah, like that. Only if you're feeling confident. Other than that, just do it in the bowl. That's why I said to you, get a bigger bowl. That was right for me, yeah? So, right now, you'll know when it's a good bread because the dough will be really, really soft. And if the butter isn't completely melted, don't worry about that. Because by the time you need it, it will all come together. This is going to be good dough. Right. So, in the first mixture, I don't put any salt or sugar. Right? I just knead my dough. And I want it to be soft. Right? You'll know when it's ready because it will do this. It starts to dry up, and I can do things like that. Yeah? This is my first mixture. Once I've got that, it doesn't have to be as soft as that. It can be a little more firm, but not too firm. Yeah? I'm working with a dough that I can manage. Yeah? So, start with 100 or 110. 110, that's 120. That's nice for me. If it's too soft for you, too sticky for you,
We can put
110 with the mixture. Mix the butter and the yeast at 110 water. If it's still dry, add 10 more milliliters. If it's not dry, it's safe. Yeah? Because you can't take it out. You cannot add more flour. Oh, I'll just add more flour to it when it starts to go wrong. You spoil the recipe. You have to throw it away and start again. So when you're working with dough and pastry, I tell my students, drip by drip by drip, little by little. Yeah, because if you get it wrong, if you've got too much water in there and you add more flour to it, you just change the recipe. You're not going to get what you're looking for. Because you're not going to know how much more yeast you're going to need. You're not going to know how much more butter you're going to need, because bread dough and pastry, they work with ratios. A certain amount of butter or fat or egg or whatever to the flour. And if it's over, it don't work. And if it's under, it don't work. So you've got to try and get it as accurate as you can. Alright? Make your bread. Once you've made your bread, then we will make the burgers. We've got to let that rise. Yeah? Turn on your ovens as well, please.
So how long do we have
but
to
this the dough has to keep
Now that the dough has doubled in size, what I'm going to do now, it might be a little bit soft. Right. But with strong flour, it's so easy to work with. Right. What I'm going to do is dip my hand in the flour, just like that. Let's get a little bit with me. Just like that. Yeah, it's not like the soft flour. When it's sticky, you need a lot of flour to bring it back.
Have you put the salt and sugar?
I ain't finished yet. I haven't finished. Right? So I'm rocking it back. Yeah? Then I can add my salt and sugar now, because the yeast has risen. Yeah? Some people do put it in all at once at the same time.
Yeah.
But it's a risk taking that the yeast may or may not rise. This way, once the yeast has risen, no, you don't have to worry, it's risen. So, and it's nice and soft, right? So this will be a nice bread. The softer the dough, the more lighter the bread. The heavier the dough, you get a tougher bread. So, okay. So now, if I'm not gonna try to exact it, right? When you're cutting bread, dough, or anything, use a white chopping board. Alright? What I'm going to do is approximately. Alright? So I'm making baps, yeah? So roll it round, so you've got a nice round shape like that, and the crease should be at the bottom like this. It does take time, yeah. It is a bit of it is a skill, right? You wait, flap my hand like that, press it down, roll it round until I get a round shape like that, and a crease at the bottom. All right. Then I'll get a little bit of flour. Little bit. Yeah. You see how much flour I've got there? Just enough to make sure that when I roll it, it don't stick. Then I can place it on the chopping board. Let's try my back. Once that rises, that's it. Simple thing. So your bread might not have risen yet. So what we'll do, as I was explaining this morning, that when you are working with flour, you clean down your section. Get rid of all of the dry debris first. Dry paper. Yeah? Otherwise, it's going to be a mess. Get the scarab. And the cloth. No, the green scarab. Green scarab. And the cloth. Just chuck it in. Chuck it in. And the cloth.
This one?
Yeah. This is better because it's got some bits of those stuff on it. And you see, right, you soak the table. Yeah? Completely soak the table. Like that. And then when you're drying it, you're going to a figure of 8. That's all right. See what I'm saying? And it covers a lot of the surface. You see what I'm saying? I see some people that do this. It's not good. This is what they do. What's that about? No. All right. Just like that. Look how much I wipe already. Just like that. Right, it's fine. As it is, it's fine. Reason being is because I can now show you once again how to slice and dice onions professionally. Right?
But it is from there.
Yeah. Right, so as you can see, the ingredients of the board, I put diced onions, but I didn't say how much. Yeah? because it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how much onions you put in there. It won't change the recipe. Yeah. But if you put too much in there, when you make your beef burgers, it will all fall out. So just be mindful. Right now, I'm going to do diced onion and sliced onion. The sliced onions, I'm going to use it for my saute potatoes or onions for the burgers. Yeah? But the diced onions, I want to put inside the burger. The root is still on. And you'll see the onion grains going this way. Don't try it this way. Alright? The root is on for a reason. I am now going to cut in between here, not all the way through. Yeah? That's still a quarter of an onion. Yeah? You got that so far? Then I'm going to turn it around and go this way. And now I'll go across. Yeah? Once I go across, I don't have to do anything. Just like that. I want to get diced onions. Yeah? It is good practice for you
Especially
to
for
practice.
onions.
For practicing. It is good for you to practice because this is a professional catering course you're doing, and these are one of the skills that is required. Yeah? And I've seen you guys when I send you away and you're doing your assessment, how you're chopping and cutting is not the way I showed you. Alright? And the reason why you're going to assess on your life skills. Yeah? Yes, your cooking skills, but on your life skills, right? Because you are supposed to be able, it's not about speed, you'll see me chopping really fast, but it's not about speed, it's about being able to handle a knife. Now, slice is different. I want to get rid of some of the root. So I'm going to get rid of the skin, and I want to get rid of some of the root. Not all of it. So I want a little bit of it to still hold the onion together. Now, I'm not saying, guys, you're going to get it right today. I'm not saying. But what I'm saying is, when you come to my lesson, at least try. Don't do what you want, right? Try, because that's what it's all about. Once you've tried, and eventually you will master it. Now I'm going to go like that. Get rid of that. There's a reason. The first one, I went through it, and this one go all the way. So I want just a little bit of the root there, just to sort of hold it together. Sliced onions. Got it? When I can't slice it no more, don't be a hero. You got it? Dice, slice. You can do that. Alright? You can be practicing your dicing and your slicing while you're waiting for your bread to rise. Yeah?
There's a whole onion each.
Yeah, the potato, the skin comes off so easy. Like that. You don't even need to use a knife. Just can peel it off like that. Look. Yeah. So wait for it to cool down, and you'll see. Comes off so easy. All right.
I'll bring this steam for back in a second, and then when mine's gone too.
Okay.
Has that been baked or steamed what?
Steamed. Just like that. All right. Then we're going to slice it up. Mise en place. Right, when you are sauteing onions, you're going to soften them. They mustn't be coloured. Just soften them. So, a little bit of oil. And a little bit of butter. You might need up to 30 grams of butter. So you go 10, 10, 10. You're going to saute the onions and the garlic for the burgers. Then you're going to saute your onions again for your garnish. And you're going to saute your potatoes. So that's 10 grams of butter, 10 grams of butter, 10 grams of butter.
Doesn't matter what butter is.
What do you mean? Salted or unsalted?
Any butter. Is there any butter to do this?
It can be salted or unsalted. Yeah. But the idea is to cook it without any colour. Alright? Now, what I can do whilst that's happening, I can chop my parsley. As you can see, I've got my mise en place. Got my meat. I've got my eggs, salt, breadcrumbs.
You add salt in there. You add salt in there.
So
5 grams. Yeah. Alright. It just what's the point in getting another container? Yeah. So whilst I'm waiting for the onions to saute, and they won't take long, just soften them up without colour. There's some parsley here. Yeah, I've got the parsley. Yeah, cool. Bit of parsley. I think it's parsley. Anyway, it should be. Right. Once again, you'll see that I said chop parsley, but I didn't say how much. Yeah. Don't want too much. You see what I've done? Let me show you. Just for you to see. We don't use the parsley stalks. So we just pull off all the parsley flowers, the leaves. Yeah. Once I've got enough, then I'm going to chop that up. And I'm going to mix it in to my burger. Basically, I want to tell you, that's right there, it's ready. Right, basically, burger is meat, sometimes flour, but so let's say meat, breadcrumbs, egg. Got that?
Mm-hmm.
You can vary it. You can put tomato puree in there. You can put other things in there. You can put other things in there. But the basic ingredient for making a burger is meat, breadcrumbs, egg. Yeah? So, normally when I do my burgers, I put a bit of tomato puree in it. Yeah? Now, because this is not for presentation, so it doesn't have to be fine chopped, right? But it has to be chopped enough. And once again, it's just another way of demonstrating your knife skill. And so, and you see how I've got control of the knife, yeah? That'll do. It doesn't have to be fine. I'm just going to mix it in with the meat. So, it's a little bit overdone. Right, okay. What I'm going to do, excuse me, mix it around. I'm just utilising the space that I've got and the ingredients that I've got, yeah? Well, because I ain't got a bowl, I'm not going to do it with another bowl. So, This has been. I'm trying to be practical.
So are
Yeah.
we supposed to use our hands, huh?
No, you can use a machine.
You can use the.
When it's hot.
A knife and a fork if you want. Right, but I don't know how it will turn out. I know how mine's going to turn out. Right.
So why is it color now? Okay, is it because of the salt, eh? Did you
Huh?
add any chili?
No.
Why is it black? Is it the salt, eh?
Paper.
Pepper.
Right. So that is my burger. Right. That's the mix. Yeah. I'm going to wash this pan out anyway. I'm just using it. But is there a red chopping board somewhere? Red chopping board? In the sink there?
Red chopping.
Red chopping board. There in the sink.
No, it's the brown one.
Is it?
The brown one.
Right.
Table.
So last but not least, right, just like the same way with the
No.
bread, you are going to have more burgers than you have bread rolls, yeah, because maybe we should have increased the bread roll. I didn't think, right, but when I look at it. I'm just trying to look at it. Let's see if I can get 4 out of it. Something like that. Normally, in the industry, what we do, we wrap the cylinder in cling film, and we just cut it in the cling film, and then we just pull the cling film off and pay it down.
That's smooth surface.
Yeah, but it's this way, it's just the same. For this small amount, this will do. Alright? And then, later on, I'm going to shallow fry that. But before I shallow fry that, I'm going to saute the onions, and then the... Thank you so much. Alright. You'll think, come back to me in about 10 minutes.
So it's not better we'll do the bread now.
In the fridge there should be some cheese. Right. So the burger's done. Alright, hopefully it should be alright.
Cheese.
Yep, it's cooked. Put my burger on there like that. That's the cheese.
So what's with the onions?
Yeah, exactly. Just like that.
You can use it. Can use something.
Right.
Tomatoes. Cucumber.
Yeah, it would be nice with lettuce and tomatoes, but I ain't got none. It's right there. Yeah. Now put my cheese on there. I need on there. What I've got to do now is just wait for my potatoes to cook. That goes on there. Voila, lunch is served. What can I say? Ooh la la. Easy peasy. Voila. Griddled burger and sauteed potatoes. Ooh la la.